a nominee, award winner, who have committed and given so much to AGLA. You already heard their names. I would ask Hamish Park to come up here. And Hamish will be telling you about our dear friend and award winner, James Fisher.
Don't touch the metal part.
Well, I have plenty of notes. I've known James in excess of 20 years. We were 3 when we met. He was one of the original people in AGLA who approached the county board way back and said to them, what could the gay community do to really make themselves known and present in Arlington community life, and they had advised that we get involved in the social fabric of Arlington with community projects and being out and visible. And James really was a pioneer at that time, because back in those days, most gay people and lesbians were very quiet and hiding in the closet at some level. And
not you.
No, not me. Never me. But people would turn up at the AGLA meetings and park a couple of blocks away, just in case people had been monitoring who was coming and going from these things. And James never apologized for being gay. He just leapt into it, boots and all, and got us involved in all sorts of community activities that let people know that Arlington did have a significant and active community of gays and lesbians and others. The whole LGBT back then it was pretty much lesbians and gays, but we moved out and gathered the rest as we went along. And James also has served for many years on the Human Rights Commission for Arlington and has protected our rights at that level. And in addition, he was a peer counselor for the Whitman Walker Clinic, where he did significant work with the community for counseling of gay folk who were in the process of coming out of the closet and trying to find their space in society. But at all these times, James was just an out and proud, valiant member of the community, and he has really led us to the point that we are today. And that's why we can still be very proud to be members of AGLA and to know that the elected officials and the community at large recognize that Arlington has a very valuable community in the LGBT members of our society. And with that, I think James is really, really deserving of the Equality Award, my friend.
Thank you, Hamish, and thank you, Tiffany. Back in 1989, Ron and I were DuPont Circle people. We had been in the city, met Ron in the city, and we were city people, and we wanted to buy a condominium, and we couldn't find anything that was affordable, and so we got sort of somehow lured over to Arlington, but we didn't know anything about it. So at the time, the only thing that I knew about Arlington was what I learned from the radio alarm at the bedside, and I knew that there was a cemetery here, and there was some woman named Shirley who had gotten a highway named after her, and it was always backed up. So that's the two sole things that I knew about Arlington. And so the movie van came, was Thanksgiving 1989, and moved us over to the Carlton, where, okay, everybody in this room probably has visited, stayed overnight, or lived at the Carlton. So we moved into the Carlton, and so the very first night, all of the boxes were still in the apartment, and we ventured out. We thought, well, let's go eat somewhere and see what this is like. And so we went down Columbia Pike, and we had dinner at Matuba, and we walked in, and there was a table full of lesbians and 2 gay men at the bar, and we were like, hallelujah! like, we realized we found the place for us, and it really has been the place for us. When we did the 10-year anniversary of AGLA, we look back at kind of what had happened even in the years before, in the mid-'80s. And one of the things that was most striking for me was in the mid-1980s, and I think it's really important to remember this, there was a big news story in the local paper because Ellen Bosman appointed somebody who was gay to an advisory board. It was some healthcare advisory board. This was when AIDS was a big concern, just sort of a new concern. And she got a lot of controversy for just appointing somebody gay to an advisory board. Later on, when we started doing more things in the community with AGLA, there was a big story in the paper because the Arlington Gay and Lesbian Alliance had a display of community service things at the Arlington County Fair. And there was news stories, and there were, somebody called and did a radio interview that this was such a scandalous thing. And the thing that I'm so proud of all of us as a community, I mean, certainly I had a little part of that, and I'm very proud of that, but all of us have created a community in which we went from circumstances like that to having really wonderful gay and lesbian elected officials. We have a wonderful gay county board member, a lesbian school board member, a gay senator now, and we've created a community where we also have our own gay bar. But we've created a community, all of us together, that's welcoming, that's a place where on the Human Rights Commission, I always kept an eye on the statistics for any complaints related to sexual orientation. And you know, we didn't get that many. And I was very proud of that, that we created a place where LGBT people can live, can be people first, and LGBT as a part of who they are as people. And a place that's really wonderful and supportive, and it's been great to be a part of that and to be a part of, I've spent the last few years doing activist stuff in the workplace, and that's been really fun and interesting, and so it's been a good time, and I thank you very much. I'm really proud to receive this. That's a spectacular looking thing. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.